According to the Uganda National Child Policy (NCP) of 2020, it demonstrates the commitment by the government of Uganda to ensure the well-being of all children. Following the UBOS report of 2016, Uganda has a young population with over 56% of its population under the age of 18 and about 48.7% of these are under the age of 15 years. According to the 2014 National Housing and Population Census Report, children aged 0 to 8 years constitute 30.9%, children 0 to 14 years constitute 50.3%, and children aged 0 to 17 years constitute 56.1% of the 34.6 million total population of Uganda. This amounts to an estimated 19.2 million children below the age of 18 years. The report also indicated that 8.4%, of which are 2.9 million, have been orphaned. The OVC Situational Report of 2010 states that approximately 51%, 8.1 million children, are either critically or moderately vulnerable, while 63% live with caregivers other than their biological parents. Estimates indicate that up to 96% of Ugandan children experience some level of vulnerability. Of this number, 51%, more than 8 million children, are considered moderately or critically vulnerable. It's a Sunday afternoon, and it being a lockdown period in Uganda due to the COVID-19 pandemic, I expect to find few or no street kids on the streets. Many ran away from our cameras. But a few bold ones stay and even pause for some pictures after our colleague offered them sweet bananas. Who are they? Where do they come from? Who sends them? Where do they spend their nights? What has been done? To understand this better, we visited some ghettos around Kampala, the capital city where majority stay most times if they are not on the streets. Some of these areas include Bwaise, Katwe, Chikaramoja, Kisenyi, and others. The conditions there are not the best, whereby the old and the young are all exposed to drugs, poor hygiene, and commercial sex exploitation. It's from here that organizations like Unseen Uganda, Arise, Luther Christian Academy, among others, have taken up a responsibility to end this appalling situation by rescuing them and offering them basic needs. This includes rehabilitation, shelter, food, and education. Damon Wamara of Unseen Uganda, an organization that is focusing on having a world free from human trafficking, answers some of the could-be pending questions about street children.
You have children who have been abandoned by their parents, and this is probably as they're traveling and they abandon them at the bus parks. Or there are also children who come to the streets as a result of domestic violence at their homes and are forced to come to the streets to seek a better life at the streets. There are also children who come to the streets to look for school fees or financing for food. A lot has been done, but it is still not enough. The government has set up laws, government has set up policies, government has set up strategies to see how to get the children off the streets and reintegrated back with their families. We have also civil societies that have also set up rehabilitation centers where these children can be rehabilitated, their families stressed, and then the children are taken back to their homes.
We now drive 80 kilometers of Kampala North to visit Luther Christian Academy in Luwero. On reaching Luther Christian Academy, we met these young souls that are both gotten from the streets and the community in Luweero district. With the motto, "In Christ alone," their long journey dates back in 2015 when the concept of a children's village was hatched by Deacon Thomas. The main goal of the village was to create a strong community of faith with a focus on street-connected children. The following year, through a grant from Press Aid, 10 acres of land was secured in Luweero district, north of Kampala. In 2016, construction of the elementary school commenced, and in 2018, Luther Christian Academy was officially opened with 3 classes and 20 children. To date, Luther's population has grown to 200 pupils, with 60% coming from the street. The founding head teacher of Luther Christian Academy shared with us their milestones.
Within these 3 years, our number has increased to 200. Reason being, this school is basically based on community. We have those pupils here from the street. That made our school, the total number of our children, to increase.
In order to get the community's perception about the school, we reached out to the village local chairperson, who appreciates the positive impact by the school following the high-quality services offered to the community.
Netuyamba ku mujizo guli ogwali mu ssomero liri kubanga abaana bali bangi naye kati wano omwana asobola okutula bulungi mu kiraasi omuwendo mutono bulungi asobola okutula bulungi n'asoma bulungi era musomesa n'asobola okutuuka ku buli mwana ekitali eri ng'amazzi tugakima mayiro nga 3 naye kati essomero lino bwe lyajja ne tusembereza amazzi abantu ab'ekitundu tugafunako abaana bageeyambisa.
Today, according to the Community Children Worldwide Resource Library of 2010, the number of street children is estimated at 150 million, with a percentage of 30 of these being part of the sub-Saharan Africa. And in Uganda, the New Vision, a daily newspaper, reported an estimated number of 8,000 street children, 4,000 of whom in Kampala, 800 in Mbale, 500 in Jinja, and the rest in other urban centers.
You will find that the children are still coming from that northeast and eastern arm. Many of the children seek refuge on the streets themselves, by the verandas of the big shopping centers, the big shops along Kampala Road and other different urban areas. Then you also have children who end up seeking cheap housing, cheap accommodation down in the slummy areas.
The MGLSD and UNICEF report in 2015 stated that poverty is one of the leading causes of child vulnerability in Uganda and is associated with many forms of child rights violations. The Child Poverty Report for children under 5 years of age is 56%, with 1 in 5 children, which is 24%, living in extreme poverty.
The northeastern region of Uganda performs the worst in terms of poverty eradication.
My name is Nambil Maureen.
Oben Genesis.
Nabagala Judith.
Nabumba Desire. Ivan Daurarias.
My school is Luther Christian Academy.
Luther Christian Academy.
Luther Christian Academy.
Luther Christian Academy. Luther Christian Academy.
I am 8 years old.
6 years old.
8 years old.
10 years old. 10 years old. And to be a pilot.
Nurse.
A doctor.
The young organization on the outlook is promising when it comes to the existing capital developments that have so far been taken. The school and the children's shelters are seated on 10-acre land, and construction to accommodate more numbers is in progress.